Good morning, City of Falls Church employees. I'm Mary Catherine Chase, your Director of Communications. This is our Employee Town Hall for October 2025. This morning, we've got a great agenda featuring tons of teammates from across different teams in the city. I think you'll find it informative and fun. As a reminder, you can ask questions at any point by putting content in the chat. You can also raise your hand at the end of each section presentation to ask questions as well. Obviously, you can connect with the presenters after the town hall. We love for you to share during the meeting because it encourages a discussion, and maybe you'll be having someone else their curiosity solved as well. So I'm going to run through the agenda right quick, and then we'll dive into content. First off, our city manager, Wyatt Shields, is going to give us some brief city updates and welcome new employees and celebrate promotions. Then we'll go into our how-to for employees section where we receive updates on large-scale programs that go on for the city for employees. Then we'll go into some big project updates. These are usually updates that focus on initiatives that interact with the public. We've got two of those today. And then we go into events hosted by the city for the public, and then some internal events as well that are fun or reminders of events for team members. So without further ado, hand off to our city manager, Wyatt Shields. Wyatt?
Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you, Mary Catherine. It's great to be with everybody for this employee town hall meeting. Well, it's always my pleasure to be able to welcome new employees to the City of Falls Church. And so we have Rodrigo Quintanilla Alba, who is joining the registrar as our new deputy registrar. I know David Bjerke and the whole team are very excited to welcome him. The treasurer has an intern, Alexandra Biggs. So congratulations to the treasury team on that new addition to the team. Macy Brock is joining the library as a library page. Also as a library page, Betsy Latique Deneen is joining the team. And then lastly, at the Aurora House, we have a residential counselor joining the team, Angela Neal. So a big welcome to these new members of our team. I sent out an email just prior to the town hall meeting to note that we've extended an offer to David So to be the city's new finance director. And we're very excited to welcome him. He'll be joining the city on November 3rd, which is a Monday about 10 days from now. He will join us from WMATA, where he's the director of finance and planning for WMATA's financial team there. So looking forward to welcoming him, David So, onto the team as well. In my email, I also just to give out a big kudos to Melissa Ryman. She is the leader of our finance team. She's helped us through this transition, and we all rely on Melissa so much for her expertise and her can-do approach to everything. So I just want to thank Melissa for all of her continued great work for the city. We have a promotion to announce as well. Zachary Lowe is promoted to Police Officer 2, and so big congratulations to Zachary as well. The last thing I will note in the topic of finance, Melissa about 2 weeks ago presented the FY25 year-end financial report. I mentioned that briefly to the EAC in its last meeting, and I'll hit just for the employees a few highlights from the financial report. And Melissa, if you're online and you want to jump in as well, I think it's just useful for people to know how we're doing financially. So overall for FY25, we did end with a net surplus in our fiscals for the last year ending on June 30th. The overall revenue surplus was $2.1 million. And most of that was coming actually from positive investment returns for our cash balances that the city has. Our permit fee ran a surplus. Rec and Parks ran a surplus on the fees it charges for people who sign up for summer camps and programs like that. So that's the reason we have the surplus. On the other hand, we ran a deficit on local tax revenues in the amount of about $460,000. So we came in under budget on local taxes. And if you'll recall, in the middle of FY26 budget development, the current fiscal year, we revised down our revenue forecast because of the headwinds that the region is experiencing due to the federal budget cuts. And so we think that those cuts, I think we're glad that we made that reduction in our revenue forecast for FY26 because we have seen some slowdown in meals tax growth, sales tax growth, and those types of things. But overall, we did run a revenue surplus, and also overall, we underspent our budget last year in the amount of $635,000. So the City Council is considering a budget amendment on Monday night, and they will appropriate some of that underspending from last year to carry forward some projects that we know we want to carry on into the next year. So we have just about $500,000 of carry forwards that we're taking to the City Council that they'll enact on first reading on Monday night. And then we would put the remainder into capital reserves so that our CIP team, led by Caitlin Sopsey, can then in a planful way appropriate that one-time money for capital projects. So just wanted people to be aware of that. You can go on to the City Council packet if you'd like to read more. But I wanted folks to be aware of our year-end financial results from last year. Mary Catherine, I'll stop there and I'll turn it over back to you. Happy to answer any questions if anyone raises their hands or have any comments or suggestions.
Great. Thank you so much, Wyatt. Does anyone have any questions for our city manager? As we wait a moment, I'm going to go ahead and transition to our next slide, which is about our mission, vision, values update. And I'm going to coast over to my window and close it because there's a loud plane coming by. But I'm going to hand off to Jenny now to take us through what's going on now with mission, visions, and values.
Good morning, everyone. And like it says on the slide, it's time to roll out. So the Mission Vision Values Rollout Work Group has been assembled. We actually had our kickoff meeting this morning before the employee town hall. So I'd like to thank and congratulate the team members on joining the team. And that is Daria Hafesi with Department of Public Works, Cindy Mester with the City Manager's Office, Stacy Pilson with the Office of the Registrar, Veronica Prince with the City Clerk's Office, Maria Rojas with the City Attorney's Office, Caitlin Sopsey with Department of Public Works, Joshua Supernaut with Office of Communications, Jack Trainer with the Planning Department, and Marshall Webster with Mary Riley Stiles Public Library. So thank you to those volunteers who are going to put together recommendations on how the organization is going to live the mission, vision, and values, including empowering frontline workers as well. So we kicked that off today. The timeline is to put together the deliverable between now and December. It could extend into January. And with that deliverable being shared with city leadership and with employees as well. So that is the short version. If there are any questions, feel free to ask me or anybody who's on the Mission Vision Rollout Work Group or the action team and Joe Carter, since he's been a constant as well. So, and with that, I'll turn it back to Mary Catherine with a final note of gratitude towards our action team members who are on the Mission Vision Values Action Team. They devoted their time, energy, and expertise to deliver our organizational mission, vision, values. And so I really appreciate all of the hard work that they've done. And with that, I turn it back to Mary Catherine.
Great. Thanks so much, Jenny. And thank you
Sure.
for your work and Joe's work on taking this. It's been a very long-term effort, but it's worth it. As you said this morning in our handoff meeting, it brings so much clarity for everyone who works here. I don't see any questions in the chat, but remember you can ask any at any point, and reach out directly to anyone who's presenting today. So the next action item is me. We're going to talk about year in review. I know I gave a heads up at the September meeting, but we are in the midst of collecting our points of pride from across this calendar year. And so we're looking for everyone across the city to come together, to meet in teams or groups, to brainstorm on your own and think about, like, what did we achieve this year? What are we proud of? How did we contribute to the city's success? Last year we did this as a sticky note exercise, which was a little messy on the OCOM side as we received the content. So this year we came up with a fantastic little form that you can use. There's a lot of them sitting in my office. You can also go to the P Drive Communications Year in Review and print these out for yourself. It's a front and a back, and you have the opportunity to share with us what was achieved this year in your team. We want lots and lots of these to come forward. We had, I think, close to just over 150 points of pride that came in last year. And we're looking to get from you who you are, what department you're from, what is the point of pride. We love supporting data and statistics so that Maggie can design those into infographics. And then we want to know, where does this fit? Is this a good governance? Is it inclusive community theme? Safety, sustainability? Is it several of those? And what OCOM's going to do with this, as soon as the deadline's over on October 31st, we're going to start workshopping these up into a document that will be presented to the public in December, and then into slides that will be shared at our annual event where we come together to celebrate our employees in December. Now, does anyone have any questions before we move on to the next agenda item? Yes, Carrie.
Thanks, Mary Catherine. How do we turn these in, or where do these pieces of paper go?
Such a great question, and I am so sorry I did not answer that yet. So you can return them to OCOM by coming up to the city manager suite. We have a huge wall that we have taken over for the month of October, where you can post these with painter's tape onto the different sections. You also can email us directly, or there is a link to fill this out electronically as well if you don't have time to use the paper, in which we will look at those too. So thank you so much, Carrie, for asking that question because I hadn't hit that yet. I appreciate that. All right. I'm going to keep moving along, but any other questions are still welcome. The next one is also from the Office of Communications. So every other year, an even numbered years, the city contracts with an external research firm called Piotrowski Research. They are a private firm that works a lot with municipal governments on doing statistically accurate surveys. Now, you'll remember their name if you've worked here within the last 9 months, because on odd number years, the city contracts with them to do the external facing community survey, where the city asks for feedback from residents. So this survey is the second time that we will be working with Piotrowski on a survey for our staff. And the goal of this is to get feedback that will help inform our future. The last time this happened, there were outcomes that came out of it, and there were action plans where staff had weighed in and said, this would really help if you could do this. There were also quantitative aggregated answers where a lot of questions that were agree or disagree were asked. Who said what on that is anonymous, obviously. There were demographic questions that are also quantitative. How long have you worked for the city? Specified gender, and what department do you work in? And those statistics were collated and reported separately from the answers overall. So one of the key things of the way that the city commissions this report from Piotrowski is to make sure that everyone in the city feels comfortable answering this, that answers are anonymous, and that everything that is said in the quantitative click answers, and in the full feedback, the qualitative, the free response is anonymous as well. So this is going to launch in early 2026, as you can see from our timeline. And what we hope to gain is a lot of confidence from staff that a survey like this matters, that it's worth it to your time, which is between 5 and 10 minutes to take, and that you feel that in putting feedback in here that the team members across the city are going to consider this feedback, take it in, and that we're all going to work together to keep improving, working for the city as we do together. So I'm happy to take any questions at this point. I will also say that this process can and should be collaborative. So this is my third stop on this is my fourth stop on a four-stop tour, talking with folks about this upcoming survey. I've met with directors, come to the EAC meeting, the SEAT meeting, and then now we're on the town hall. So what can you do? You can go to the P Drive and take a look at last year's, or sorry, 2 years ago's survey, the 2024, and consider the outcomes of that. You can come ask questions about questions. You can ask, how do you know that this is anonymous feedback? Anything at all. Feedback on the actual questions themselves, though, I need to close at the end of October so that we can start working with the firm on any changes to questions. We have goals that include having longitudinal data, meaning asking questions that are the same or similarly enough that we can say, oh, this is what changed in terms of sentiment from 2024 to 2026. But then we also can look at questions that maybe we feel like there are gaps there as well. So please reach out to me. I want to hear from anyone and everyone about this so that everyone feels like they understand the purpose of this, the outcomes of it, and that they feel confident in taking this survey when it's time. Any questions before I hand off to our next agenda item? No. Okay. But please do stop by and see me. Email me, Teams me. I'm happy to answer any questions at all. So on that note, we're moving into our big projects update section. And our first big project update is solid waste from our Deputy City Manager, Andy Young. Andy.
Thank you, Mary Catherine. Good morning, everybody. It's another month. It's another update on our solid waste program changes. So I'm happy to report we're making great progress. So as a reminder to everybody, one of the big changes that City Council approved back in September was the deployment of a new third cart to our curbside solid waste customers for organics. And so the new organics yellow carts are going to be deployed here in the spring. And so what we've been working on, for the last month is a communication campaign to hear from our customers on what size of cart that our customers want. So do you want a 65-gallon cart, a 35-gallon cart, or do you not want a cart at all? And the reason that's important is we're approaching this rollout as an opt-out program, which means by default we're going to give everybody a cart unless we hear from them otherwise. And so so we've got a little less than 2 weeks to go before our survey closes. And I'm super excited to report that we're almost to 40% of our customers have already responded, which is pretty awesome. And so the more people we hear from, the less kind of guessing we're doing kind of on the deployment, and the lower the risk that we're going to get a bunch of carts sent back to us that people don't want. So plan is to order the carts in mid-November, and then the lead time kind of puts it in a probably March timeframe for us to deploy those out to the city. So we've got, as you can imagine, we've gotten a lot of questions and calls and visitors kind of on kind of all of these changes. So big kudos to the Treasurer's Office, the Commissioner of Revenue's Office, the Permits Counter, OCOM, Scarlett, and especially Lonnie Marchetti, who has fielded phone calls and emails and everything for the last 6 weeks. And so really appreciate her patience and willingness to kind of talk with folks through all the changes that we've got going. I think we're making great progress. It's kudos to all of these folks that have helped so far. So we do have some sample organics carts that will be here at City Hall pretty soon. So You won't be able to miss them. They're bright yellow, like they will definitely jump out to you. But look forward to checking those out. It's another element of our kind of communication campaign with the community to let them know what's coming. So with that, if there's any questions, happy to answer them. Otherwise, Mary Catherine, we'll turn it back over to you.
All right. Thanks so much, Andy. And I see we've gotten kudos to Lonnie in the comments as well. I cannot echo that enough. Getting the opportunity to work so closely with her on this has been real fun. And the expertise is so specific that I can't imagine anyone else guiding us through it. All right. We're going to go on to two new experts that haven't come on recently to a town hall. We're going to talk with Zoe and Emily, who are going to give us a really big update on what's going on with Chapter 8 of the city's comprehensive plan. This focuses on city facilities, utilities, infrastructure, public services. And so I think it really is a project that's of interest to all of us. And I can't wait for them to share with us now. Zoe, Emily, let me know each time you want me to advance a slide. Here we go.
Hi, thank you, Mary Catherine, and everyone else for having us. So the city is updating, as Mary Catherine said, Chapter 8 of our comprehensive plan. The comprehensive plan, if you are unfamiliar, helps guide physical development and investments in the cities by establishing an overarching long-range vision, which usually covers about 20 to 25 years in the future, so very long range. This specific chapter was last updated in 2005, so we're hitting that 20-year mark, and the city has changed quite a bit in that time, so it is a basically full rewrite. In the chart to the right, you can see all the other parts that make up the comp plan and when they were written. Next slide, please. So the purpose of this plan is to be used regularly as a guide for public investments, including budgeting and prioritization of needs. You can see with the visuals on the right, the few images of things that might be impacted, like the strategic priorities, the budget, the CIP, as well as city policies and staffing. The plan will also be used as a reference for third-party utility providers and private development applicants when they're considering community needs and investments. Next slide, please. So the draft chapter itself is organized into 4 overall sections, and then within those sections, I believe there are 19 topics. So the first is government services and facilities, then we have public safety, city utility services, and then third-party utilities. So within these larger sections, each topic area covers an overview of the existing facilities, an evaluation of their respective needs, and preliminary recommendations to address the challenges noted. Next slide, please. So here we have the proposed vision statement. We include a vision statement with all of our comprehensive plan updates. Because of the timing of this meeting, I won't read it out word for word, but I recommend looking through it and seeing if it needs any edits or if you have any recommendations. Next slide, please. So along with the vision statement for this particular plan, we decided it'd be helpful to have a list of guiding principles in how we evaluate each of the topics. So those principles are being community focused, universal design, safety and security, green buildings and infrastructure, efficient delivery of services, a quality work environment, that's particularly of interest to this group, I assume, tech forward, and long-term planning. Next slide, please. So the next 2 slides show some maps that are included in the chapter that kind of show the facilities that we are talking about. This map is an overarching view, and you can see that the general government facilities are in this lighter orange color, and the school facilities are in the darker reddish color. Sorry, it's a little hard to see within this format. Hopefully in the actual chapter it's clearer, but just provides an overall map of the city. Next slide. All right, these two maps show, well, the first one shows the municipal building campus. So that's going to show City Hall, the community center, the public library, Gage House, Cherry Hill Farmhouse and Barn, as well as noting some of the surrounding zoning and properties. The map to the right is the property yard campus. So I know I, at least when prior to this process in the ULI tab, knew there was a lot going on over there, but didn't exactly know what. So this hopefully shows a little bit of all of the different things that are encompassed in the property yard, including the recycling center, the homeless shelter, a lot of different elements. Next slide, please. So throughout this process, we have come across an overarching theme that there is a need for additional city government workspace. So to address this this growing need, we came up with this 4-part roadmap for government facilities to, in the short, medium, and long term, begin to address those concerns. So the first action is to lease additional office space to meet the needs of the current workforce based on analysis of capacity and functional needs of the organization's existing workspaces. This should be done prioritizing vacating deficient office spaces, reuniting separated departments, and grouping similar uses when reorganizing workspaces. The second part of this roadmap is to conduct a study projecting the future growth of city government and city schools workforces by department for the next 10 to 20 years. So as you might remember, we did an update to the demographics chapter projecting the city's population, but this specific study, we want to project the workforce. The third action is to conduct a citywide government functional needs inventory that identifies deficiencies in both the amount and quality of available workspaces and facilities. This should look at all facilities, but the core focuses should be on public safety, public works, and the hypothermia shelter. The fourth and final action in this roadmap is to use the results of the projection study and the functional needs inventory to work with an outside consultant to develop a public facilities plan. This plan should propose solutions to the city's spatial needs by analyzing cost, location, and sequencing options to give detailed recommendations. Next slide, please. So in addition to that overall roadmap, we also have several disparate actions and strategies that apply to all government facilities. So I'll try to quickly run through these. The first is to develop a facilities maintenance manual, and that should specify standard materials, products, and tools to use across all facilities. Second is to continue to use our facilities conditions assessment, which is done every 10 years as a guide for maintenance and improvements and other projects. The third is to conduct regular energy audits and security audits of all facilities. Fourth is to conduct continue investments in green building practices. The next one is to continue to cyclically update plans, policies, and agreements, working with organizations and the community when needed. I've lost count, but the next one is to remain innovative and explore technologies that can enhance public services. And the final strategy is to continue analyzing service costs associated with major development proposals. Next slide, please. So with all that being said, to go over the process a little bit, this project started in March of last year, so about a year and a half ago. And in that time, we have conducted interviews with about 30 partners who are subject matter experts, many of which are on this call right now. And that was used to develop the first draft, which is what the previous slides were based off of. We are now in phase 2 which is public engagement, where we've met with various cities, boards, and commissions, as well as we've had a few public engagement events and have a few more planned for the future. We also have this town hall to inform the city employees about what's going on. And we will be taking all of the comments, feedback, questions we get, and revising the current draft chapter to produce a new and improved version. So that revision should be happening starting in November through December. After we produce that new version, we are aiming to go to final consideration with City Council for probably early spring of next year. Next slide, please. So this chapter is a lot longer than what I've included here, so we encourage and welcome people to read the draft chapter, or at least skim through it. You can do that on the city webpage, which is linked right there. You can also look at the 2005 chapter. It's a little fun to see how much we've changed. We used to have a whole water service, which is no longer included. And this page also includes more information about the background process and upcoming events. So we also welcome people to attend one of our upcoming public events. We will be tabling at the Farmers Market this Saturday. We will also be hosting a public open house before Planning Commission on November 5th. Finally, we welcome people to contact us. My email and Emily's email are both included there. We would love any comments, questions. This chapter obviously affects all of us as we all work in and with city facilities, and many work with utilities and other parts of this chapter. So really, the city employees are a key stakeholder, and we would love to hear from you. I think that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Zoe. I know everyone, that was a lot of information, but I feel like we got a great crash course in what's going on. We've been hearing about this, and there's so much work going into it. So Zoe, I appreciate you coming on and also sharing your email and Emily's. What's your best advice of how we can go about sharing the feedback? What would you be looking for from us as employees for feedback? And that timeline is, what date should we get back to you by?
Yeah, so we would appreciate comments back. I think by the end of November would be a good deadline. And I would say emailing us is the best way to get in touch. If you have just a few comments or questions, just including those over email is great. If you want to reach out to have a longer discussion, we welcome emailing us to schedule one of those. We'd love to talk to people about this plan. It is a long chapter. It's about 65 pages, so I know that's quite a bit to go over, but yeah, we would love to hear from people and see what they think.
Thank you so much, Zoe. Does anyone have any questions for Zoe right now? I know I feel like I need to read the whole thing before I ask any more questions, than how we can give feedback. All right, we will keep going. Thank you again for coming on today. Next, we're going to transition to our final section of our updates in our town hall, which is our event section. And I'm going to give a quick overview of what we're going to cover, and then we'll have the different event experts come on. So upcoming city events, we have 3 upcoming ones within the next month. And then, oops, this is switched. And and I'll now kick off by asking Cindy Mester to come tell us about what's happening tomorrow. This one is tomorrow, folks. Cindy.
Yes, very exciting. Tomorrow, 9:30, outside at the soon-to-be unveiled Love Sculpture, and it's between City Hall West Wing Drive Aisle and the farmhouse at the top of the formal garden. We are going to unveil the love design that was part of our call for design starting back we accepted the closing October 2024, and it's taken us a full year to get through the approval process, consistent with our code and charter and the production. So I'm really excited that we're going to unveil it tomorrow. The title is Reflections, Diversity and Inclusivity. And I think it's really reflective of council's vision and also the mission values, vision and values we just adopted as an organization. So I'm really excited to invite you all out to join. those who can to see the actual work, which employees submission was selected, and we will be celebrating it with council and all the stakeholders that helped get this to a beautiful celebration and ending date. And we've noted a few collaborators on this slide just to give you a sense of some of our external partners, as well as the ability to celebrate an employee kind of competition call for designs process as part of the now over 75th city anniversary. Thanks, Mary Catherine. See
Thank
you
you
all
so much,
tomorrow. The
Cindy.
weather's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, it's going to be gorgeous tomorrow. I'm really excited. And I hope that as many people can come over from wherever your office is and partake in the unveiling and the celebration of just a brilliant concept from Ripple Patel and a beautiful execution, which we can't wait to see once it's up. All right,
And if you
next
can't make it then, Mary Catherine, I'll just say come out later and take a photo op. That's what
Yes.
love's all about.
Yeah, thank you for that, Cindy. All right, next we're handing off to Corey Payne to talk us through one of our spectacular city events, the upcoming Halloween Carnival. Corey?
Good morning. Corey is out today, but we will continue with the beautiful weather for the next few days. So it is going to be a nice day again on Saturday, a nice dry day, and that's what we like for the Halloween Carnival. We'll be outside in Cherry Hill Park. We do have 2 different time slots, and we do shut down for the 30 minutes in between to kind of reset everything. So we do ask that folks either come the earlier time slot or the later. That helps the most folks get to participate and enjoy the event as possible. It's a wonderful event. It really is. For those that have been here for a while, we used to do this event inside the building on like a Friday night or something, and it was very packed. And the lines were very long, and moving it out here has really been a nice change. And so there's bounce houses, there's the cute little carnival games where they, toss a ring onto a soda bottle and get a prize. Lots of candy is handed out. Bring bags with you, bring candy bags because the kids will walk away with a lot of candy. But lots of activities, some entertainment. The local elementary schools come and participate. It's very cute little fun little event. So I encourage anybody with kiddos to come by on Saturday. It's going to be a nice day.
Thank you so much for that, Amy. I love this one. I'm terrified of crowds, but I brave it anyways every year because it's so much fun. All right, next we have our Veterans Day ceremony.
Yep. So I can't promise great weather that far out, but hopefully we have another beautiful day. Veterans Day is always 11/11/11, so that is the date and time. Not too much else to report out on this one. We'll be there outside. If the bad weather hits, we come inside. But a few speeches. Participation with the Greater Falls Church Veterans Council is the group that does most of the organization for this event with Corey's assistance. And come on by and appreciate the veterans that day.
Yeah, thank you, Amy. It's a great annual Falls Church tradition. And talking about tradition, here's our staff tradition. Tell us more.
All right. So Danny and I will be coming around to departments tomorrow with your pumpkins. So they'll be, large enough that you can carve them. They're carving pumpkins, but do anything you want to them. Carve them, add 6 pumpkins on top, paint them. We want the most creativity that we can see. If you've been to this before, it's a lot of fun. Departments do a really nice job. There's some really cool pumpkins. Also, you're invited to dress up that day, being appropriate, of course. We do ask that everyone dressing up sends a photo by email to funbunch@fallschurchva.gov by 10 a.m. that day, and we'll send reminders out. But what we'll do with those photos is very quickly between 10 and 11, we will print them all off and put them on a large whiteboard. And then as folks are there at the event, you'll get little stickers and you can choose, which costumes you're voting on for scariest, best overall, and funniest. And we'll do the same voting for the pumpkins. So pumpkins also have to get dropped off by 10 a.m. We're doing the event if it's nice out. If we have another beautiful day, we'll be out on the patio behind council chambers. If the weather doesn't hold up, we'll be inside the main lobby at City Hall. But you'll drop your pumpkins off by 10 a.m. that morning. We'll lay everything out. Everybody coming by, we'll get little stickers to vote. The actual event is from 11 to 1, but the voting is only from 11 to 12. That way we can award things while everyone is still there. So make sure to come between 11 to 12 so you can do some voting. But again, pumpkins getting dropped off tomorrow. Go crazy with them. Drop them off by 10 a.m. on Halloween. Costumes, enjoy your dressing up. Send us an email with photos by 10 a.m. also. That's it. Enjoy.
Amy, thank you so much. I have to say, last year as a new employee, I was not prepared for how much fun this was really going to be. The level of creativity on the pumpkins and the group costumes, it was so much fun. So I have a big thank you to Fun Bunch for organizing, all the events all year, but like this one as a Halloween person, it just really hits. It's fantastic. For our next employee event, I'm going to ask Charlie Hamilton to share a little bit more from the EAC about what's going on for employee turkey potluck.
Thank you, Mary Catherine. How's everybody doing today? About a month from now, we are going to be hosting our annual employee turkey potluck. The event is going to be held in the community center, top floor in the teen center. We've done it, I think, the last 4 or 5 years now in the same spot, so should be pretty familiar by this point. The event will be from noon to 2. You are welcome to bring any sort of contribution. You can bring drinks, you can bring desserts, you can bring sides, but we will be providing a number of entrees, a couple of sides, and like cutlery, napkins, the basics stuff. We highly encourage people to bring desserts. Those are usually really popular.
Charlie, can you tell us a little bit about the food that you all are ordering and how you're
Absolutely.
taking stock of people's dietary needs? Because I've heard you discussing this and
Yep.
taking feedback, and I think some folks will want to know that as well.
Certainly. So I think it was actually brought up at the last EAC meeting, and in previous years, it wasn't so much a question, but I did profess that, it is a concern. We do want to make sure that people are aware of what the ingredients are in what is being served. The items that EAC is procuring are catered by John at Full Belly Catering. We have done the same caterer every year for the last however long this has been going on. I will be sure to mark all of the items that are there with anything that might be a dietary restriction, such as allergies, meat, things that are vegan or vegetarian will be clearly marked. But the items that we are catering are going to be like turkey, ham, the gravy, which I promise I will get you an answer about whether or not the gravy has any sort of meat product in it. And yeah, so everything should be clearly labeled. If there's any question about anything between now and then, please feel free to reach out. You can contact me directly. You can reach out to the EAC at eac@fallschurchva.gov. But in the meantime, I encourage you, there's a QR code here, and we will be sending out an email soon with the flyer. You can scan this QR code or click the link in the email and bring something yourself, contribute something to potluck.
Thank you so much, Charlie. I'm excited for this one. Turkey is my
Me too.
favorite food, but I love that you all are providing for everyone so that everyone can be included. So thank you, Charlie, and to the whole EAC team that's behind this great initiative. All right, rolling on to our last presenter today with 2 updates from our human resource team. Megan DeSalle, carry us home.
Hi, thank you so much, Mary Catherine, and thanks everybody for being here. Today, I want to talk about a couple of things. The first one is something I just learned about, Medicare 101 at Mary Riley Stiles Public Library. So that's going to be this Friday at 2 p.m. and anyone can go. It's open to the public, but you do need to register before you attend. So it's for individuals who are going to be eligible for Medicare soon, your care partners, or those who already have Medicare and you'd like to learn more about it. Medicare can be pretty confusing, so it's important to get the right information when it's accessible to you. So this is going to address Part A, Part B, Part C, and Part D, which is D for drugs. Those are the prescription plans, as well as how to cover the gaps in Medicare. So this is a free class. It's open to anybody and everybody who's interested. I think capacity is 40 people and they're about half full right now. So if you are interested, register soon. So this is a great resource for employees or retirees who are approaching Medicare eligibility. And everybody get excited. The annual service awards are coming up. We're going to be meeting on Tuesday, December 9th this year, and we'll be gathering at Columbia Baptist, which is just down the road on Columbia Street. The event doors are going to open at 11:30 a.m. and we'll have some appetizers and drinks going on, and then the ceremony will kick off at noon, followed by a luncheon and presentation of those wonderful service awards, everyone who's met landmark years of service in 2025. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 35 years of service. We've got 23 people who are being recognized this year. It's a great event. I encourage everyone to come out if you can. Again, it's going to be Tuesday, December 9th, doors opening at 11:30 a.m. Lunch will be served, and it's open to all staff, recognizing 23 stellar people.
This is fantastic. Megan, thank you so much. This is another one that as a new employee last year, I thought it was such a great opportunity to really get to know a lot of our employees, what they have contributed, especially the long timers, and just to really get to enjoy the company of other colleagues. So thank you for the work you put into this. I am looking forward to it. And folks, I gave some foreshadowing earlier that the outcomes of your points of pride will be on a PowerPoint that runs during this as well. So we'll be able to share a lot of not just the external wins that go out to the public, but the internal ones as well. And so I'm excited that we'll be able to do that together in December. All right, folks, if you have any other questions for any of our presenters, please email them directly. Later today, Maggie will send out the recording of this, and there is the slides and the agenda that remains available. Please always send your agenda items to me. We would love to have you present what's going on in your department at our next town hall, which is in November. Until then, thank you all very much. Have a great, beautiful fall day. Bye.
Have a great day. See you all tomorrow.